Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 6 a.m. on WKYT, we are tracking several armed robberies in Lexington, 2 of which happened just blocks apart.
More trouble for a man accused of firing shots into a neighbor's car.
And pouring pints to help out an injured soldier. Well, those stories and more. Breaking news as it happens. It's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Top of the morning to you and welcome. It's good to have you with us. Thursday now, rolling toward the weekend, September 25th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Really just continuing a trend of good weather this week.
It's a good trend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice sunshine and beautiful fall days. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris ahead of the news. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, things look great outside. And look, we're going to hold on to that the next several mornings and afternoons. Now, the afternoons will be warmer. Not as the mornings, of course it is, but I'm talking about warmer than the past couple of days. 49 starting off in Frankfort. We're at 58 in Jackson. Depends on where you are. Some mild this morning, some just pretty cool. 78 by the afternoon, and we even see some 80s in the forecast. Sunshine prevails, of course, there's no surprise there. But the changes come by late in the weekend, the end portion of that. And I'll really explain that and talk about this rain coming in just a couple of minutes.
All right, have to love these nice days. Thank you very much. New this morning on WKYT, we are tracking several crime alerts in Lexington from the overnight hours. Police are looking for a couple of suspects after a pair of robberies.
The 2 crimes happened just a few blocks apart from one another. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is tracking the cases live this morning in Lexington.
Good morning, everyone. A pair of robberies kept Lexington police busy overnight. The first one happened here at this Speedway on New Circle Road just before midnight. Police say a man walked in, showed the clerk a gun, and demanded money. When he left, he ran back behind the store down Meadow Lane. Officers brought in canine units, but were not able to track the man down. Police are looking at surveillance video of that suspect. The second robbery happened just a few blocks away around 2:15 this morning. Police say someone driving down Loudon Avenue picked up a man wearing jeans, a hoodie, and black shoes. After a short drive, the passenger pulled out a silver semi-automatic handgun and took $40 and a cell phone from the driver. A canine unit also came out to that scene and tracked the suspect's scent around Meadow Lane and then lost it. Now, even though these 2 crimes happened in the same area, right now police do not believe they're connected. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
3 men are still on the run this morning after a late-night holdup at a video game store. Lexington police say 3 masked gunmen walked into the GameStop on West New Circle Road and made everyone get on the ground. We're told they stole money from the register and from a customer, along with that person's cell phone.
A high-speed chase also kept Lexington police busy overnight. That started on Winchester Road when police say they spotted a stolen car. That car took off, speeding into town. It was later found, the car abandoned on Linden Walk near the UK campus. Police think 3 young men were in the car, but no arrests have been made at this point. And new this morning, a man wanted for a deadly shooting in Tennessee has been arrested here in Kentucky. State police arrested Andrew Beverly at the commissary in Harlan County. Police in Sevier County, Tennessee say Beverly is a suspect in his wife's death. She was found dead yesterday in their driveway. A witness told police that he saw Beverly shoot his wife during an argument.
A man arrested for a recent shooting is back in jail. Earlier this month, police say he fired shots into his neighbor's car. And now another crime with those same neighbors has landed him back in jail. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at the courthouse to explain.
Good morning, Rebecca. Investigators say Bryan Judson acted like he had a gun to intimidate his neighbors from testifying against him in court. According to an arrest citation, a married couple who lives on the 300 block of Wilson Downing Road called police Tuesday afternoon when they saw their neighbor, 41-year-old Bryan Judson, watching their home. The arrest warrant describes him sitting in a chair in his driveway, staring at their home, implying he had a gun in his pants. The neighbors were already at odds. Police say back on September 1st, Judson fired a handgun at their car several times, riddling the vehicle with bullet holes. According to the arrest warrant, in the 3 to 4 years the married couple has known Judson, he's threatened to kill them several times. We're told he was released from jail last week and was ordered to have no contact with his neighbors. The shooting case will go before a grand jury, and that's why police believe he was trying to intimidate his neighbors this week. One of those neighbors told police she no longer feels safe in her home, so she packed up and left. Judson was arrested yesterday and charged with intimidating a person in the legal process. He is scheduled to appear in court for an arraignment. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, this morning, more people are in jail accused of using counterfeit money. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says James Byers, Linda Alton, and Betty Stewart tried to pass a fake $100 bill at 2 stores. Deputies say the bill matches fake cash recently confiscated in Somerset and Danville. That's where 3 people were arrested earlier this week when they were caught using the fake bills. Well, support is pouring in this morning for the soldier who was seriously injured in a hit-and-run crash caused by a Lexington firefighter.
Guam National Guard soldier Noel Espino is still recovering at UK Hospital. Police say Jared McCargo was drunk when he crashed into several people before crashing into the beer trap last week. To help Espino and his family, the beer trap teamed up with several other local businesses yesterday. $1 from every pint poured last night is being donated to his family.
This is a really great, Friday night, Saturday night kind of crowd, and for this to happen on a Wednesday at this hour, just shows a lot about what the community, what the neighborhood's all about.
Other companies, including West 6th Street Brewery and Athenian Grill, have agreed to match the amount of money raised by the beer trap. McCargo has been fired by the city of Lexington. We have a traffic alert for drivers in Madison County. Today through Saturday, crews will be working on US 25. That road will be closed between Colonel Road and Boonesboro Road from 8 o'clock until 4 o'clock each day. They're doing culvert repairs there. Drivers, of course, can use Colonel Road or I-75 as a detour.
All right, and let's check to see how traffic is moving in town today.
Let's go to Officer Don and check out live drive traffic at 6:07. Don, good morning.
Good morning, gang. Well, we get to start off with no wrecks. There is a stalled car on the exit ramp from I-75 north there at Newtown Pike at the bottom of the ramp. The rest of Newtown Pike is moving great. Everything on the north side looks good, too. Let's get a look outside. We'll show you what to expect this morning. It's a nice morning out there. A live look around Lexington and no problems to report on the interstate itself. On our Waze map, should be good to go this morning. Of course, more construction on Leestown Road. We're going to see that today. Also, they're still working on Euclid Avenue near High, so expect some issues there a little bit later on. But for now, with our wide view, we can see we're okay on Tates Creek Road, Nicholasville Road, even Richmond Road at the Circle. Now back to you.
All right, folks, pretty much clear to go. Thank you very much, Don, and we're glad you're with us. WKYT this morning just getting started. A lot more news coming up.
It's a reunion that was months in the making. An update on Gidget after her 3,000-mile cross-country trip.
And find out which Kentucky stores are impacted in the latest Jimmy John's data breach.
Things look good this morning. Heading in toward the afternoon, the World Chicken Festival down in London kicks off. And that takes us off through the weekend. I'll go over those events for your neck of the woods, too. The weather for those coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
We have the 40s, we have the 50s, and we even have a couple of 60s down toward the southeast. All depends on where you are. And it depends on what kind of feel it is outside. They're in the western zones, and that works your way into Frankfort, too. We're there in the upper 40s. Going toward the bluegrass, there in the lower 50s. Going down toward the southeast, you're sitting there in the upper 50s. So it just kind of depends on where you are. Even Covington coming out in northern Kentucky at 56 degrees. Richmond right there in the lower 50s. So another cool start to the day. The kiddos heading off to the bus stop. No doubt about it. Maybe a light coat as they take off. Throughout the day, teachers, heads up. Another beautiful day. Keep those kids outside if you can. If they are doing well in class, they'll say, you know what? Pack up your stuff. Let's go outside for a little bit. They absolutely love it. 78 degrees by the afternoon. It'll feel phenomenal there around lunchtime. So things will warm very rapidly. During the morning, it's kind of cool, but yeah, we get toward lunchtime, maybe even late morning. It actually feels all right. Mild day in store right there in the upper 70s across the bluegrass region. Harrodsburg got a big festival going on with the Jazz Fest later on toward the weekend, and things look good then too. So the weather you see now is what you're going to be having today, tomorrow, really toward the weekend, much of the weekend. 80 degrees there in Russell Springs, Williamsburg coming out at 80 degrees. Danville, Oktoberfest this weekend. Looks pretty good for you guys over toward the east-southeast. Morgan County, Sorghum Festival. I mean, think of all these festivals that's been happening the past couple of weekends. It's beautiful weather for it. Why not do it? And you guys there in Morgan County with that festival going on. Should be really good for you guys. And starting today, it looks good. Tomorrow, when it actually kicks off toward the weekend, that's when it looks like a little bit warmer than what you see there at 76. 78 there in Maysville, 77 now, or later on this afternoon, I should say, there in Moorhead. Kickoff time for Friday night football, mild. In toward the second half, not cold, not really chilly. Might be slightly cool to some, but for most part, it's going to be mild feel. It'll actually feel quite nice. Next few days, we're getting warmer and warmer each and every day. UK football going on later on that evening, any tailgating and the football game. It all looks good. You got to love it. Sunday off until the start of next week. That's when we bring just a little rain into the forecast. Showers, not so much thunderstorms, so all in all, it's a pretty good looking forecast. It's not bad, and it is above average. We haven't been able to say that for about a week now. So there you go.
Wow.
Changes in the forecast.
All right, warmer weather in addition to all the sunshine.
Right.
How about that?
Great.
All right, Micah, you'll love this story. A Jack Russell Terrier returns to its owner after a cross-country solo voyage.
7-year-old Gidget was found wandering around Portland. She was taken to a local shelter, and a microchip showed her owners happened to live 3,000 miles away in Philadelphia. The owner confirmed Gidget had, in fact, been missing since April. She has no idea how Gidget made it all the way to Oregon. The dog chips manufacturer, PetLink, agreed to cover travel expenses. Good for Gidget.
Home sweet home, Gidget.
And her owner.
How about that?
Oh,
well,
very cool.
Story she could tell.
She looks like a happy one there.
All right, good deal. Good to have you with us on WKYT this morning. Here we are on Thursday, rolling toward the weekend, and more news coming up.
Jimmy John's customers in Kentucky should check their credit card statements. Which stores are affected in the latest data breach? That's coming up.
Good morning. We're collision free on the Circle and the Interstate this morning. Also checked out Nicholasville and Man-O-War a couple of minutes ago. No problems there. If you're inbound Harrodsburg Road or plan to be inbound Harrodsburg in the next few, that's a good time to get there. There's no trouble yet. Let's get a look outside and we'll show you what to expect on the inner and outer loops of the Circle and on I-75 north and southbound. Even Nicholasville Road past Alumni is a straight shot toward campus. Now back to you.
Jimmy John's is the latest company to announce a data breach involving customers' credit and debit card information. The breach took place between June and September. The stolen information may include the card number, cardholder's name, verification code, or the expiration date. More than 200 stores were affected. Included is the Lexington location in the Palomar Center, the store on Magnolia Drive in Georgetown, and the one on S27 in Somerset. Apple has withdrawn the first update to the new iPhone because of customer complaints. Some users say they were left without cell phone service. Other customers said they couldn't connect to Bluetooth. Apple says it's investigating the reports and working on a fix. The new operating system was released last week, right before the new iPhone 6 and 6 Plus became available. The Federal Aviation Administration is expected to announce today that 7 movie and television production companies will get permits to fly drones. It's an important step towards greater use of the technology by commercial operators. The permits are expected to come with limitations. The unmanned aircraft can be used only on closed sets and must be operated by a 3-person team, including a trained drone operator.
You would hope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe some interesting scenes shot for those movies. Our time is 6:19. WKYT News on the air with all the latest on your Thursday. And coming up, the search is on for suspects behind Lexington's latest gas station robbery. Details in a live report on that and more coming up at 6:30.
On the way next, we have got UK football, and we check in with the football Georgetown Tigers. Sports is on the way next.
Hey, good morning and welcome back. We're looking outside. Things look good. Upper 50s, lower 50s, upper 40s. They're all across the region. We even have a little 60-degree here and there sprinkled in down toward the southeast. Kind of depends on where you are. A little bit toward the west. That's our cooler zone this morning. Heading in toward the afternoon, we go from the lower 50s for most and sitting there in the upper 70s. So it's slightly warmer, not only for today, but going in toward the weekend. We'll even start to see some 80s too. Creep on in. And here's a cute little pet right here. Here's Mars from Lexington Humane Society. Beautiful dog right here. Remember, you can go out to these humane societies, pick you up a friend, not just Lexington, but wherever you are there in your county. Take off and get you a little pet like Mars. He's a cute pup. I'm sure he would be a nice little friend for you. All right, it's sports time. Let's check it out.
The football Wildcats are coming off a bye week as they get ready for Vanderbilt, and word that they have had another good practice yesterday after dropping a heartbreaker to Florida 2 weeks ago. The Cats have taken it as could have taken it as a moral victory or gotten down on their luck. Instead, they say they've moved on to the next game.
That would make me feel a lot better as a senior, because I've been in past years, that might not have been always the locker room afterwards, but I was definitely proud that we were ready to rebound and face whoever came next, and now we're here, so we're just ready to take on the challenge.
A good story coming out of practice yesterday. Cornerback J.D. Harmon has a scholarship. He's out of Paducah-Tillman. He walked on in 2012 and earned a spot on the team and eventually started. Last season, he was redshirting. He's backing up Fred Tiller.
Last day of camp, we had a really tough practice. And, he called me up in the middle of the guys and announced it. I was overwhelmed. I was happy. But he had always told me, if I do my end, keep my grades up, practicing hard every day, then he was going to honor me with a scholarship. So, I'm very thankful for it that, he kept his word. He's a very honest guy. We're really close. So, I trusted in him. He trusted in me. So, he was really happy, and I'm overwhelmed right now.
The Georgetown Tigers have come out of the gate firing on all cylinders in the young season. The Tigers are 2-0. Bill Cronin's ball club has just annihilated their first two opponents, Bethel and Lindenwood Belleville, scoring 63 points in each game, averaging 506 yards of offense.
That's kind of the signature of our offense. We spread the ball around quite a bit, and a lot of guys are always going to handle the ball and score touchdowns. And I think that's an exciting feature of our offense. But we've just got a lot of guys right now that can do something with the ball. They understand what we're trying to do, and they're running pretty good routes, and they're executing for us.
We definitely have some stuff to work on, and we've been fortunate to put up some points for the past couple weeks. But still, our coaches and even ourselves, we find stuff on film that needs to be fixed, and our focus is just to keep improving day in and day out, and hopefully put up a good product on Saturday.
And that is a look at sports. Have a great Thursday.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now on WKYT, as we approach 6:30, a busy night for Lexington police after several armed robberies, also a high-speed chase. We're tracking the investigations coming up in a live report.
Details on a memorial for a Kentucky teacher who was killed in Chile.
And Louisville Slugger honor Derek Jeters, who is set to play his last game in Yankee Stadium tonight. We'll have those stories and more. And breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT This Morning. What a career for him, and we'll find out more about that. Good morning to you and welcome in. Good to have you with us here on Thursday, September 25th. We are rolling toward October. I'm Bill Bryan.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Happy day before Friday.
Love that.
It's starting out to be a good one.
It is. Sunshine out there again on the way here in just a little while. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I talked about it on Facebook and Twitter saying, look, I'm running out of adjectives to use for this weather. Help me out here. And these are some of the ones I've gotten. Dynamite. You got to love that one, right? Beautiful. And also, this is a pretty good one that I have not used. There's phenomenal in there. But a pretty good one I have not used yet is addicting. That's a good one right there. That's not too bad, right? I'm kind of addicted to this weather. And good words. Get on there. Micah Harris WKYT on Facebook and also Micah Harris WX on Twitter. Send them to me. I'd love to keep using them because I'm running out, all right? Live sky camera, there's a shot outside. Cool to the west, very mild down toward the southeast. It actually feels really nice for those kids heading out to the bus stop. 78 by the afternoon, mostly sunny skies. We're getting warmer into the weekend and even some 80s to talk about. And I'll show you that when your rain moves on in. We haven't seen that in about 4 to 5 days. It'll come in for the weekend. I'll show you when that fall is coming up.
Right, that fine forecast in a bit. Let's get to the news.
New this morning, we're tracking several crime alerts in Lexington. Police are looking for a couple of suspects after a pair of overnight robberies.
Those two crimes happened just a few blocks apart. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is tracking those cases live in Lexington, and she's joining us. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning. Lexington police spent the night trying to track down the suspects in 2 overnight robberies. The first one happened here at this speedway on New Circle Road just before midnight. Police say a man walked in, showed the clerk a gun, and demanded money. When he left, he ran back behind the store down Meadow Lane. Officers brought in K-9 units but were not able to track the man down. Police are looking at surveillance video of that suspect. The second robbery happened just a few blocks away around 2:15 this morning. Police say someone driving down Loudon Avenue picked up a man wearing jeans, a hoodie, and black shoes. After a short drive, the passenger pulled out a silver semi-automatic handgun and took $40 and a cell phone from that driver. A K-9 unit also came out to that scene and tracked the suspect's scent around Meadow Lane and then lost it. Now, even though these two crimes did happen in the same area overnight, right now police do not believe either of them are related. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. A woman is recovering at UK Hospital this morning after being hit by a car in Lexington. New this morning, police say a man and woman were crossing VERSAILLES Road at Alexandria Drive late last night when the woman was hit. She is expected to recover. The road was shut down for about an hour. The driver is not facing any charges. A high-speed chase also kept Lexington police busy overnight. It started on Winchester Road when police say they spotted a stolen car. That car then took off speeding into town and was eventually found abandoned on Linden Walk. It apparently stolen. This was near the UK campus. Police think 3 young men were in the car. No arrests have been made.
New this morning, a Lexington father is in jail accused of abusing his newborn daughter. Darnell Tegloa is charged with criminal abuse. Lexington police say he intentionally shook his 4-month-old daughter because she was crying. Police say the infant suffered serious injuries and is currently in the hospital. Tegloa will be arraigned today. Also new this morning, Davis Browning is accused of having several images of child pornography. Lexington police say they found hundreds of images during a check at Browning's Cornwall Drive home. Many of the images were of children under the age of 8.
A man arrested for a recent shooting is facing more legal trouble now. Earlier this month, police say he fired shots into his neighbor's car. Now another crime with those same neighbors has landed him back in jail this morning. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at the Fayette County Courthouse to explain more about that. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Police say because Bryan Judson's neighbors are taking him to court, he tried to intimidate them from testifying against him in court. Now, according to an arrest citation, a married couple who lives on the 300 block of Wilson Downing Road called police Tuesday afternoon when they saw their neighbors staring at their home. Investigators say 41-year-old Bryan Judson was waiting in a chair in his driveway, watching their house acting like he had a gun. The neighbors were already at odds. Earlier this month, police told us Judson shot their car when it was parked in their backyard. According to the arrest warrant, in the 3 to 4 years the married couple has known Judson, he's threatened to kill them several times. We're told he was released from jail last week and was ordered to have no contact with his neighbors. The shooting case will go before a grand jury, and that's why police believe he was trying to intimidate his neighbors this week. Of those neighbors,
Sorry we lost the audio there, but one of the neighbors said that she no longer feels safe in her home. The suspect is scheduled to appear in court for an arraignment later this afternoon. A memorial service is planned for tonight for a Kentucky teacher killed in South America. 22-year-old Erica Hagan was a recent graduate of Georgetown College. Earlier this month, she was found dead in her apartment in Chile, where she was teaching English. A security guard at the Chilean school has been arrested in the case. Tonight's memorial is in Owensboro, and Georgetown College is also planning a memorial, but a date for that has not yet been set.
Well, police arrest a man suspected of stealing hundreds of dollars worth of items from storage units. The Harrodsburg Herald reports police recovered some of the stolen property at a motel. Harrodsburg police arrested Aaron Berner at the Bluegrass Inn on South College Street. They say they found many items in his room, including electronics, clothes, and toys. Police were able to return some of the stolen items, but one victim tells us they're still missing things that can't be replaced.
That's all I had left of my mom. So, you know, when you find out somebody takes it, it makes it hurt worse. I mean, the fact that he stole from my kids, he stole from, us, it just hurts.
Aaron Brunner is charged with receiving stolen property.
The search is continuing this morning for a missing Central Kentucky teenager. Police in Marion County are looking for 16-year-old Adriana Couch. Lebanon police say she has not been seen since September 12th. At the time, she was wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. Police say she left behind some necessary prescriptions.
State leaders say they've made changes after the death of a prisoner. James Embry died during a hunger strike in January at the Kentucky State Penitentiary in Eddyville. Those changes include the dismissal of 2 doctors and another medical professional. A new policy for inmates who aren't eating has also been put in place.
A federal grand jury has indicted a Richmond man on charges that he threatened U.S. Congressman Andy Barr. The FBI says Russell Little repeatedly phoned the threats into Barr's office during a 5-month period. The final call came last month. State police arrested Little after he led them on a chase from Laurel County into Rockcastle County. A committee working to redraw the school lines in Fayette County will be meeting later today. 3 new schools are in the planning process, including a new high school. The meeting is set to begin at 4:30 this afternoon. It has been moved from its original location. The meeting will now be held in the Conference Room C at the Fayette County Public Schools main office located on Main Street. Well, e-cigarettes could soon be added to Lexington's smoking ban. Vice Mayor Linda Gorton is asking the Urban County Council to discuss expanding the ban next month. According to the Herald Leader, Berea, Bardstown, Danville, Glasgow, Manchester, and Richmond already ban e-cigarettes. VERSAILLES is also considering a similar ban. Louisville Slugger has been making baseball bats for more than 100 years, but there is one model it won't be making any longer.
That's the P72, and it's the same model Derek Jeter has used his entire career. The Kentucky company says it's retiring the model in honor of the retiring Yankee. Meanwhile, Jeter fans are paying outrageous prices to see him play tonight in his final game at Yankee Stadium. One ticket search engine says prices are going for an average of $640. There is a chance tonight's game could get rained out, though.
Well, but it sounds like a lot of folks are eager to give him a very nice send-off.
They're probably hoping the weather gods will smile on them this evening.
Time this morning is 6:38 on WKYT, and it's time to check live drive traffic and see how things are moving out on the roads this morning. Here's a look right now at Harrodsburg Road over there at New Circle. No reports of any early trouble. In fact, it's very light traffic, as you see there at the moment, but it's picking up elsewhere. Do want to remind you of that continuing construction going on in Chevy Chase, right there at the point where Fontaine Road and Tates Creek Road and Euclid Avenue all come together. They're removing the traffic island there. There was some backup there yesterday. Anticipate that again today as that work continues. And we have a lot more news coming up on WKYT this morning.
It's big time fun by the bale. How some are turning heads with hay.
Burgoo Festival going on in Lawrenceburg. We got the Sorghum Festival going on there in Morgan County. So many festivals, so many big events this weekend. How does your weather shape up? Because we do have some rain for the weekend. I'll talk about when that falls coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
We are looking out the door at a crystal clear start. Things look really nice out there this morning. I asked people on Facebook to go on there and tell me a few adjectives that I could use because I'm running out of them, man. Help a brother out. I got one on here that's got the most likes so far, and it's phenomenal. You can't beat that. That's from Patricia Thomas. Got a few more coming up for you as well. But yeah, it is phenomenal outside. It's cool in some areas, and then it's mild in others. Look at your western zones. This area, it just doesn't want to release that cold air. So you're talking about 46 in Danville, Lawrenceburg, the Burgoo Festival going on this weekend. That'll be a lot of fun. You guys starting off very cool this morning, and also Frankfort too. You work your way, say, into Midway, and also Versailles. We're doing all right this morning. We're just kind of cool. Down toward the southeast feels amazing. It's actually pretty mild this morning there in the upper 50s. Unseasonably warm air on the way, and you can see it building back toward the west. This slowly but surely increases into our region as we go throughout the next couple of days. Today, right there around 78 degrees and maybe an 80 sprinkled in here and there. Tomorrow, you can see tomorrow afternoon, that warm air really kind of funnels on in. We're talking 78 to about 81 degrees. And then for the weekend, I think most of us are actually in the 80s. So it'll be warmer and warmer each and every day. Saturday going on at 81. Some of us right there around 82, 83 degrees. No rain World Chicken Festival. It's going to be hopping there in London later on this afternoon, starting about 5 p.m., I believe. And yeah, heads up there on the roadways because it gets packed. And I just got a tweet on Twitter. I don't know if it's true, but let me know. Kids get let out of school on Friday for the World Chicken Festival. You know it's a big deal then when that happens. Is that true, Bill? Yeah, Bill's over there doing a little chicken. You didn't think I would call you out, did you? 76 there on Sunday, 40% chance of rain. That's later on during the day. So things look pretty good for much of our weekend. Going in towards Saturday, still all those events happening. You got, like I said, the Burgoo Festival there kicking off tomorrow. Also, Cole County Off-Road Festival. That's in Pineville, Kentucky, down in southeastern Kentucky. A beautiful weekend in store for that. And the Pig Out in Maysville. Look, it's called the Pig Out. You know it's fun when it's called that. So you got to check that out in Maysville, kicking off tomorrow, off toward the weekend. All right, so I asked you guys, and this weather looks pretty good the next few days. Give me some adjectives. Melissa Greenwell, blissful. And I told her I'd try to say that as manly as possible. So blissful, all right? Susie Kendrick, stellar. I like that one. Patricia Thomas, like I said, phenomenal. And Brandon Pelfrey, he says addicting. I like that one.
Yeah, it is
because
a good one.
it is addictive. I mean, it's beautiful weather. You gotta love it. Good weather.
Yeah.
Hop on Facebook, hop on Twitter. Give me some more adjectives. I need them.
And you did catch me over here with an early
I saw
celebration of the Chicken
Nobody
Festival.
Nobody could see you, but I'm glad you showed up.
I happened to miss that, but thank you for the replay.
Everybody got to see it now. All right. Yeah, we have fun back here, don't we? 6:45 the time this morning.
All right, so hay is not just for horses, apparently. Some folks in a central Iowa town, the name of that being Charlton, are saying, hey, look at that hay.
Right. That's because some agricultural artists have made masterpieces out of dried grass. It's the third annual Hay Bale Art Contest, and artists have turned the hay into cars, animals, even a lifesaver candy there. It's a way for people to share the beauty of the Hawkeye State and show off their talent as well. So big festival there. And so across the country you have festivals going on right now, just as we do here in Kentucky with so many things going on.
To celebrate the season.
Yeah, it's a good time of year. Good to have you with us on WKYT, and we're back in a moment. It's now 6:46.
We have a lot more news. Stay with us.
Hello to you, I'm Gail King. Coming up, a follow-up to our investigation into doctors profiting from hardware they put into patients. Now the Justice Department is taking action. That's coming up on CBS this morning.
And the lights of downtown giving way to daylight this morning. Our time is now 6:49. Welcome back.
New this morning, police are searching for the suspect behind Lexington's latest gas station robbery.
That happened about midnight at the Speedway at New Circle at Meadow Lane. Police say a man had a gun when he went in demanding money. They're looking at surveillance video right now for clues. Lexington police also looking for 3 men who forced people to the ground during an armed robbery at a game store on West New Circle Road. Police say the men stole money from the register there at the GameStop and also got money from a customer's wallet.
A man wanted for a deadly shooting in Tennessee has been arrested in Kentucky. State police arrested Andrew Beverly at the commissary in Harlan County. Police in Sevier County, Tennessee, say Beverly is a suspect in his wife's death. She was found dead yesterday in their driveway.
Jimmy John's says some Kentucky customers could be at risk. The company is the latest to announce a breach of credit card data. The breach took place between June and September, just a few days ago. More than 200 stores are affected. Included is the Lexington location in the Palomar Center, as well as the store on Magnolia Drive in Georgetown and one on US 27 in Somerset.
A committee working to redraw school lines in Fayette County will meet later today. 3 new schools are in the planning process, including a new high school. The meeting starts at 4:30 this afternoon. It's been moved from its original location. The meeting will now be held in the conference room at the Fayette County Public Schools main office on Main Street.
The United States and its Arab allies are continuing to strike ISIS targets in Syria as part of President Obama's strategy to degrade and destroy the terror group. Activists say that today's strikes killed nearly 20 people, as the U.S. and allies are targeting at least 4 oil installations and 3 oil fields controlled by Islamic State. Militants in the group's de facto capital of Raqqa have released at least 150 people fearing more strikes. Yesterday, President Obama delivered a game-changing speech before the United Nations General Assembly, appealing for a unified front in the effort. The UN Security Council also unanimously approved a U.S. resolution to crack down on the recruitment and travel of foreign fighters supporting Islamist extremists. Police have made an arrest in a case of a missing Virginia college student.
But this morning, there's still no sign of Hannah Graham. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette has the latest.
The glow of cell phones served as candles at a vigil for the missing University of Virginia student, Hannah Graham. A moment of silence was held at the high school the 18-year-old had formerly attended in Virginia.
Hannah never forgot to put others before herself, and that's why everyone loved her so much, and also why all of us are here tonight. Hannah, we love you so much. Please come home.
Yesterday, police arrested a suspect in the case, 32-year-old Jesse Matthew Jr. He was taken into custody after pitching a tent on a beach near Galveston, Texas. Graham was last seen with Matthew on surveillance video in Charlottesville, Virginia, before she disappeared on September 13th. He's charged with a count of abduction with intent to defile.
This case is nowhere near over. We have a person in custody, but there's a long road ahead of us, and that long road includes finding Hannah Graham.
It's unclear if Graham knew Matthew. Matthew's father says his son is innocent.
To kill or hurt somebody, that's not my son.
Matthew will be extradited to Virginia. A reward to find Graham is now up to $100,000. Wendy Gillette for CBS News, New York.
Well, Matthew was employed as a patient technician at the University of Virginia Medical Center since 2012. He went on the run after a brief meeting with Charlottesville police in which he asked for an attorney. A man wanted in Pennsylvania for a state trooper's murder continues to elude police. Pennsylvania State Police say they spotted Eric Freen yesterday from a distance. Police have been searching the woods near his parents' home in northeastern Pennsylvania. They say they also found items in the forest they think Freen left behind. A lucky ticket holder is waking up $225 million richer this morning. The ticket sold in San Mateo, California, and it matched all 6 numbers for last night's Powerball drawing. The store will get $1 million. There's some good news for folks here. A $1 million winning ticket was sold in the state. Lottery officials have not said where exactly in Kentucky the ticket was sold yet. Here are the winning numbers. They are 7, 14, 21, 24, 41. With the Powerball being 26.
Any relatives in San Mateo?
Yeah, right.
We wish, right? All right, our time this morning is 6:54, and we have all the latest for you on WKYT.com, just updating these overnight robberies in Lexington, and also the search for 3 guys who bailed out of a car after a high-speed chase. And then we also have fresh information about how the Lexington Fire Department says it didn't know that a firefighter accused of running over people outside a bar had a drunk driving warrant out for his arrest for several years. Our web poll shows those taking part agree with local police departments being given and using surplus military equipment. It's a one-sided result. Nearly 70% say they agree with arming local police departments with equipment that was first designed for the battlefield. It's another beautiful start to a terrific September day out there. Micah says temperatures will once again climb into the upper 70s today and tomorrow. Lots of sunshine, and we should be in the low 80s on Saturday. What about that in late September? But that's all ahead of some changes that will include some rain and cooler weather, it looks like, in the region next week. Check our weather page for all the latest. WKYT News with more info about several Jimmy John's sandwich shops affected by this data breach. Credit card information was stolen, apparently happened at 216 locations, and it does include some in Kentucky. We'll continue to update that as we get additional details. Senator John McCain's former chief of staff using tough words to describe Kentucky Senator Rand Paul as either a fool or despicable. Kentucky.com also has a response about Mark Salter from Paul's office, which blamed his brand of politics for Republicans losing the last 2 presidential elections. So some tough talk there within the GOP. CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with world and national news and, of course, our local updates. Join us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. And for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com.
There's a crash at Woodland and Main Street. No one's hurt in that wreck. We have 1 lane blocked on Woodland Avenue just down from Main. Interstate looks great this morning. He's got a quick look outside to show you what to expect. You should be okay for the most part around Lexington. The live look at Nicholasville Road and Alumni. Now back to you.
And it does look pretty good. Live sky camera, there's your shot. Crystal clear outside this morning. And look, we're going to go toward the afternoon, mostly sunny skies. And I got one more adjective, guys, to talk about today. Lori McQueen says a real humdinger.
Oh,
I like it.
I like that too.
That's going down in your pocket and pulling something out. I like it right there. Current temperatures 40s, 50s, and even a 60-degree reading down toward the southeast. So things look good. Kickoff for the World Chicken Festival is today, 78 degrees.
Sounds good. So you had that, you're trying to find an adjective, and then we had a debate in the newsroom this morning about how to spell Boonesboro, because we have, you know, is it the O-R-O or the O-R-U-G-H?
How'd it turn out?
So, well, it's still under discussion.
We'll get it to you later.
Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. We want to thank you very much for being with us on WKYT.
CBS This Morning is next. Have a great day before Friday, guys.
Have a good one.